Well, here we are once again. You're watching Legacy of Leaders. I'm your host, Jamar Suber. And as you know, I talk to entrepreneurs, authors, speakers every day who help us to achieve higher, inspire us to go further. And today I'm with Linda R. Sexton, speaker and author. Man, she has an amazing story about a topic that we kind of see as taboo. Well, hopefully today we'll break the lid off of that. Linda, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jamar. I really appreciate you having me today.
Absolutely. So tell us, we're talking about adoption. Talk to us about the adoption process. Let's start there.
Okay, great. Well, first of all, my topic is open adoption. And open adoption is something that many people don't actually realize how the process works today. And my husband and I decided to adopt 30 years ago. And at that time, the adoption process was just being transformed from shame and secrecy to openness and transparency and actually intentional choices. And we actually were in awe of the fact that an expecting mom could actually choose the family to raise her child. And she could look at profiles of adopting parents. She could decide if she wanted to interview them. And then after she went through the process, and if she matched with an adoptive family, then they decided together how to maintain contact for life. And that can be anything from just cards and letters all the way through visitation. And that could be for life. And we chose the all the way through visitation. And after adopting 2 children, even today, which is now 30 years later, we're still in contact with all 4 of my children's birth parents.
That is amazing. And you know, from the outside looking in, you don't understand the process, or you think it's just this mysterious thing. You know, and one thing that I'm glad about is you wrote a book on it. Tell us about the book.
Yes, I did write a book about it because I was just fascinated, and I took really good notes early on. And one of the things that I realized is that today there are over 1 million hopeful adoptive parents just waiting to adopt a baby. And for them, the idea of openness can be really scary. They might be thinking, how awkward would it be to raise a child with the birth parents in the picture? And that's really why I wrote the book, The Branches We Cherish, so that people can see how it goes, what happens in the first year, 5 years, 20 years later. And what I've discovered is, first and foremost, that it is extremely healthy for an adoptive child to know and be connected with their biological family. Because, we're all part of nature and nurture, right? And the adoptive parents can do all of the nurturing, but so much of somebody's nature comes from their biological family. And if a child can connect those dots and have some knowledge and some contact with anyone from their biological family, it can help them grow up whole.
Absolutely. So much of our identity is connected to the nature side, who we are,
yes,
and our family. How important was it for the children that you've adopted to understand who they are through their birth parents?
Yes, well, it was very important, and the fact that we were able to do that and contact from very young all the way through, they're now young adults, I believe that it really helped with their identity. But, there's something that's really interesting. I would say that my children were raised in almost the best of circumstances when it comes to adoption. However, that doesn't mean that an adoptee doesn't have any consequences from being adopted.
Yes.
And one of the things that I learned, which is stunning, is that 1/3 of all adolescents referred to for psychotherapy are adopted persons.
Wow.
Yes, and there's many reasons for that, but one of them is what we call disenfranchised grief. And what that means is that society looks at adopted children or adopted people as somebody that was saved, somebody that is lucky and should be grateful that they were placed with a loving family, if in fact they were placed with a loving family. But adopted children are vulnerable to things like inability to attach, or fear of abandonment, or even hidden anger. And they need the opportunity to give voice to these feelings. And oftentimes, adopted children do need professional help and therapy.
Man, this is amazing. Well, thank goodness for your book. As we close out, I just want to let everyone know, okay? You can find out more about Linda R. Sexton and her book, The Branches We Cherish. Take a look at it. Check it out. Read it. Pull the lid off the taboo of adoption and the process and the stigma behind it. Thank you for coming on today.
Yes, thank you.
Absolutely.
And if I could ask everyone, please visit my website, lindarsexton.com. And when you do that, if you sign up for my blogs and my news, I will send you the 10 things I wish I knew at the start of my open adoption journey.
Well, you heard it right here. Again, take a look at dailynewsnetwork.com to find out more about Linda R. Sexton and her book. I'm Jamar Suber, your host of Legacy of Leaders.